What is up, guys, and welcome to the episode. Today I'm going to be reacting. It's been a while since I've done a reaction video. I don't think I've done any reaction videos this year. Actually, no, I haven't done a reaction video. I did do one. Oh, it's much. Okay, whatever. Today we're going to be reacting to Geography Now, Bulgaria. You guys, I don't know, one of you guys did suggest this for me. Don't remember who it was, but one of you did suggest it for me. It was just before I did the videos that you can learn languages. Go check them out. Link will be in the description. So yes, we're gonna be reacting to it. And guys, I know the pronunciation is not gonna be perfect. But I'm just gonna cover, the most important pronunciations. Those that are like, I don't know, others I won't say. I'll just say them without pausing. As you guys know, I've started editing my videos finally.
Bulgaria, Bulgaria, go.
Hold on, there we go. So, alright. So yeah, guys, we are going to see what Mr. Geography Now has to say to us. Wait, who's that? I've never heard of Victor Crumb. Okay, let's continue. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I saw a flag. Yeah, true. We are not exactly sure what all these flags mean, but we've said that the white represents the peace and, everything else. The green sometimes represents the white and green sometimes represent our bravery, as the Bulgarians have shown to be brave. 20th century. Now we're not that brave. So, I mean, we are brave. We did manage to kick out our worst politician, Boyko Borisov. Yes, he is. Yes, if you guys didn't know, he went out of the post, and the party GERB is no longer going to exist. Slowly but surely, it's going away. Like, I don't know when this happened, but this does deserve to be a national holiday, because this Boyko Borisov guy's been operating for, I think, since I was born. Maybe even before that he was operating. And just that man, 10 years, a mafia man, operating is just not okay. So yeah. And the red represents the blood spilled of those who fought during the rebellion, not rebellion wars, during the April Uprising, the Russo-Turkish War, the First World War, all of those stuff. Okay, let's continue. Yeah, the only thing is the old Slavs in Europe, I think only Hungary, Bulgaria, and Belarus have green on their flags. I mean, I think Croatia also had something on its coat of arms that was green, but we're talking about big lines, not something on the coat of arms. Yes, sometimes. Yeah, true. True. That's because he didn't include everything on, the flag, but when it comes to political geography, when was this posted anyways? When was this posted? 6 September 2015. I was very young back then. Like, not very young, I was already, already in my early. So yeah. The strange thing is, however, the politics back then were not as complicated as they are now. So yes. Nobody knows Bulgaria. Nobody even knows it. Like, look at how much mountains it is. I mean, it doesn't look like there's mountains, but if you live right here at Sofia, literally everything is mountains. Also, this over here is an Asian volcano, and I live right over here. By the way, just a few days ago, I wanted to make a video of the Danube River, which flows like this. It flows through entire all the way to here, or here, and then it continues up into Ukraine. Yeah, the thing is, the entire, and actually the real, Black Mountain, this mountain over here you see, is actually called Balkan. And the name is, the name Balkan comes from there, as it stretches right here from Serbia, where E is. It stretches all the way to the Black Sea, and it is very high. It doesn't look very high, but, over here, Bulgaria has, over here, right, I think, it has the highest point in all of the Balkan. Mount Riva is tall 2,925 meters. No other mountain is taller. There is one mountain over here in Greece tall about 2,019 meters. So close, but it's the second tallest mountain in all of the Balkans. But the third tallest mountain is again in Bulgaria, over here in the Bidin. Okay, let's move on. Okay. True. Yeah. Sofia. I mean, it doesn't really matter how you call it, since nobody calls it Sofia these days. Even the Bulgarians start calling it Sofia. But, yes. True. Oh, I know, hold on a minute. This over here, this building you see over here, it no longer exists. It no longer exists. This is actually taken during Soviet times. This building here, today is, it's taken down. It's no longer a building. By the way, my school is right, like, over here. So this is, the monuments. If I'm correct, this should be, yes, this, I think, no, this, oh my gosh, I'm so dumb. I thought this was another place. I just figured, this is the Russian, we call it Ruski Pametnik. It's, built by Russians. I used to, yeah, so I went many times to here. This is taken through Soviet times because, if it's not taken by Soviet times, but it isn't, it's taken somewhere in the 2000s because, there are no longer trees around this, statue. There are no longer trees. They're taken down. Oh, this here, this is, the most famous garden in all of Sofia. This is called the Boris Garden. Borisova Garden, I've probably heard of it. And this cathedral over here, depending on, it's either the second biggest or the biggest in the Balkan Peninsula. So either maybe the Serbian Saint Sava could be bigger, but not really, because this is higher. This is way higher than Saint Sava. True. As I said, so over up to Ukraine are former Bulgarian territories. They basically just go over the Romanian coast. These territories, if you can see over here, these territories are former Bulgarian. Yes, Constantinople is not it is not hold on, let me just, it is not Greek. It was Bulgarian it was occupied by Bulgaria for a long time. Also, one of Bulgaria's former capitals was in Ohrid in modern-day North Macedonia, giving the Bulgarians more reasons to actually say that Macedonians are Bulgarians. I mean, they are. Stop calling yourselves non-Macedonians. Also, Alexander the Great might have been born in Macedonia, but he was a Greek man since it was the Greek Empire and all other... Okay, so Macedonians, they just are obsessed with Alexander. They even call him Alexander Makedonsky for some reason. There's even a statue of him in this city over here. It's called Thessaloniki, but Bulgarians call it Solon. And it literally has a statue of him because he was born in Bella Macedonia. But we're not talking about this Macedonia. Pella is a former city which was somewhere around this area of Central Macedonia, Greece, not North Macedonia. Also, Macedonia is pretty much this historical region over here. Up to these little claw things is Macedonia. The Balkans do not extend there. Greece does not know anything from... Greece and Macedonia do not own anything from the Balkans. Serbia does start the Balkans over here, very close to the Bulgarian border, but otherwise no. A minute. True. Even during the winter, it's very hot there. Like, you can even dive during April. I used to do that. The water isn't too hot right now. I haven't been there since March. Yes, I haven't been there since March or April. I don't even remember now. So yeah, this, by the way, Sunny Beach is actually not called Sunny Beach, and the translation is not Sunny Beach. Actually, Słoneczny Brzeg in Bulgarian translates to Sunny Coast, not Sunny Beach. Whoever thought it was Sunny Beach didn't do their English class well. Varna, Burgas. Yes, it's not Burgas. I mean, over here is actually the highest, the biggest Bulgarian company in the world. Lukoil up next to him. It's like maybe even the biggest in the Balkans. Wait, we own more, but these that we here are more like tourist spots. We own around 79 somewhat islands. These are basically what are considered islands. We actually own 49 islands. They're not really islands. They're more like little rocks out the coast, and we own them, and we consider them islands. But really, Saint Thomas, Saint Ivan, Saint Anastasia, Saint Peter, and Saint Syracuse are Syracuse are considered, you know, our main islands because we do not own any else. The other place, there's one more place in Bulgaria where cactus grows. It's it's like not too close from the Turkish border. It's called not Arapia. It's called what's it called? Sinemorets. There's like this beach, and right next to it is another beach, and there's like a hill between those two ridges, and on that hill, can be grown cactus. Like, I've seen it. I took a photo. If I manage to find one, I'll print it out on the screen later. We also own one more. Oops. We also own one more island in on the Danube River. It's called Belene, which was also a former Soviet. It was a former labor camp, but now it's a prison on the island, and there's also a project of making a nuclear power plant over there. Bulgaria currently also one nuclear power plant. It's located in Kozloduy. I've been there, but I don't remember if I took photos. You almost pronounced that correctly. It's pronounced Perpericon. I know it's strange, but I forgive him because it's very hard to pronounce. Even I couldn't pronounce it. It's like, what, very old. Kazanluk. Both the tomb and the city are called Kazanluk. Although the tombstone is called Kazanlukska Grobnica. Thracians were basically in Bulgaria, and there's the Greece and Macedonia and somewhere else. The Roman Empire came. The Roman Empire is most likely the reason. By the way, Perpericon is still not fully digging out. Just a few years ago, if not months ago, they found a new tower there. Something like a tower. Nobody knows what exactly this was. But in 2009, the real thing was discovered. So this is like one of the newest monuments in Bulgaria. It was discovered it was discovered 11 years ago. So, despite seeming old, I don't think there's any other monument we found yet. We are trying to find where our national hero Vasilevsky's tomb is, but still that has failed and most likely will never be found. What, two? We are not. No, I mean, yeah, we could divide ourselves to that, but really, the more accurate way is telling. We divide into 4 regions: the Danube Valley, which is like one of the only valleys we have. It's the only valley we have. Um, the Balkan Central Ranges or something like that. We call it. It just literally stretches to this little area. We got the coast is actually considered one too. It flows like this, the coastal area. And the other one is the Rio Rudopska Oblast or real Radapi region, right over here, where you can find the highest summit in all of the Balkans. Oh yeah, Arda is probably the most. Arda and Marica are probably the most famous. Arda doesn't flow into the Danube, but several of Bulgaria's rivers do. Yogurt? Is it our yogurt? Yes. Yeah, I think Croatia or Bosnia and Herzegovina, somewhere around there, was the birthplace. Fun fact, actually, other than this Bulgarian yogurt, we call it kisel mleko, which translates to as sour milk. But it's not sour milk. It's like when you try it, you like feel it's not yogurt. We also don't sell yogurt here. We only sell Bulgarian yogurt, and very rarely can you see yogurt. Like we take our yogurt so seriously that we don't sell any other yogurts. I mean, even Americans sell Bulgarian yogurt and we don't. That's strange. I mean, our yogurt is something like they say it's a yogurt, but it's really just it's just a smoothie. So yeah. Not only in the area of Bulgaria. It's some like found like in the center of Bulgaria, like in the center, but still that is Bulgaria. The tastiest one out of the tastiest is from cows, and from my perspective, you should try Verea sour milk. It's the best milk you've ever tried. Yes. Also, the Danube River is like our trade and business thing, but that's a whole other story. I know this place. I know this place, guys. I literally know it. It's not located too far away from Burgas. It's like I think it's like 30 kilometers or so away from it. I've been to this beach. Yeah, the I have been to one of Burgas's beaches. It's pretty nice, but at the same time, I don't know. It was like the. It is one nice thing is that the water is pretty, not deep, pretty shallow until a certain point. Even when you cross like where it's forbidden, even when you cross, there's like this little, I don't know what it's called in English, barrel or something like that. Even when you cross it, the water's still shallow, just like a few meters in, maybe 10 meters in, and then it becomes deep. Yeah, this is like one of our most famous stuff. What are these? Oh, I've been to these. I literally went to these like 2 months ago. I have photos. I can show you. Pobiti kamani. Pobiti. Strange. Caves. Yeah, I know this one. Проходна. Funny, because I've actually never seen a bat. Wait, I have seen a bat, and they're like very funny, because they are in South Bulgaria too. And like we once were going to our like little resort where we own some apartments, And like we were going up, and suddenly we see bats flying all over the place. I was a bit scared to go up because these are the stairs. They're like right over here. They're so close to the stairs. I just went up when they were finally there. When they were finally up in the ceiling, then we turned off the lights and they went outside. Rajsko to I actually forgot that was the tallest. It is pretty high. Krušuna. Vratsa, not Vras, Vrasta, Vratsa. And Skaklja, it's actually called Skok, not Skaklja. It's either called, you can call that too, but the real name is Skok. Or Skok, I'm not sure. Yeah, but not every town can see this. Because Vratsa is like located on a mountain, I'm gonna show you where Vratsa is. Just give me a minute. So Vratsa, let me just turn on the satellite. So Vratsa is right over here. And just so that you can see, it might be located on the Danube Valley, but when you actually zoom out, it is, yes, you see it is located right over here on a mountain. And a little bit of the city is actually on the mountain itself. It's like between two mountains, Rečka and Vratsa, Vračinski Pokan. Oh, I rose this. I even said this in my language episode because we're famous for rose oil. Like, we don't sell it though. I mean, yes, we do sell it, but we don't sell it as much as, for example, France does in their perfumes. Like, half of France's perfumes have at least some Bulgarian rose oil in them. It's actually just below Sofia, if you want to be more accurate. Wow. Yeah. Oh, the Rose Festival. Rosen Festival. True. Yeah, and they use their traditional clothing, so I don't think you're allowed if you don't have your traditional clothing. Okay. Demographics. We're not very Slavic. Our language is more similar to Russian or Ukrainian. We're not like the other Balkans. The other Balkans can barely understand us, whilst us and the Macedonians or Bulgarians, we pretty much understand each other better. But even you can argue on that a bit. Yeah. %10 of our population is Turkish, actually. 10%. More are Roma. 23% or something of our population are Roma, not 5%. Maybe like 23% to I don't know what. Our population is Roma. Like, I don't even know if 85% of us are Bulgarian. Maybe, I'm not sure to be honest. But Roma is way more than 5%. Mostly Americans. Yes, the Americans do come to stay here, but not a lot. Like, maybe Russians, Americans, Serbs, they come to here. Like, mostly our neighbors other than Greece. True. 10 million. Yeah, mostly because, like, when we were exposed to, ever since, like, maybe after the Second World War or after the Cold War, our economy is busted and people think that Bulgaria is not suitable for living and just move out. But otherwise, the population decline has seen, like, it's a little bit more shorter. Like, not when it was 2015, a lot of people were leaving, but now it's a little bit less shorter because traveling is a little bit difficult and the prices to get a CPR test are almost unbelievable. Unfortunately, it's true. We even blame the USSR for our declining population, but not Russia. Russians are like our brothers. It's just that Russia got an empire, and we only got an empire for about 3 centuries, while Russia had an empire for 700 years. Yeah. It wasn't independent. It just it broke free together with the other countries from the Warsaw Pact. Wow. True. An apartment at most can cost you about 75,000 levas, and levas are like more valuable than euro, and it's pretty cheap. Unlike France, where one apartment with just one room is like 1 million euros, but in Bulgaria, an apartment with one room is only around 18,000 euros, which is about 20. I don't know. The vacations aren't that cheap, but we barely have any 5-star hotels. True. I think I know this mall. Isn't that the Sofia mall? Isn't that Serdica? Yeah, there was a mall in Sofia called Serdica. No, unfortunately, this is not it. But this mall does seem pretty nice. To be honest, it's either the Burgas mall, or the Varna mall, or the Plovdiv mall. It's one of those three. It's not a Sofia mall. The Sofia malls don't have these like railings, metal ones. They don't. Yeah, the thing is, Bulgars in Bulgarian are Bulgari again, and Bulgarian in Bulgarian is Bulgari. So yeah. Great old Bulgaria, old great Bulgaria. It's extended from like modern day Georgia all the way to, it took over Crimea. There was even this joke, Russia and Ukraine be like, no, Crimea is Ukrainian, no, Crimea is Russian. And then Bulgaria pops out of nothing during All Great Bulgaria and says, somebody say Crimea? It was this joke. I think if I find it, I'm gonna post it too. Actually, no. The Slavs came in later. We first, one of the emperor's sons of All Great Bulgaria, was the only son who managed to create a country. The other one created a country somewhere around modern-day San Marino. The other one created Vos Bulgaria, which is created right here. This guy here was beaten up by a lot of kingdoms, while this guy over here was beaten up by the Mongolian Empire. And also, Bulgaria is one of the only countries that wasn't invaded by the Mongol Empire. Believe it or not, it was never invaded. Only this Volks Bulgaria here, but this one on the Balkans was never invaded. True. Yes, thanks to the gods Saint Cyrillus and Methodius, Cyrillus actually created this alphabet. The Methodius alphabet is so strange; it looks more like headphones than it does like an alphabet. I'll find that one that I posted in my last video. Was that? Like, when you say something that people agree, they're like, and when you say something, for example, they're like, ne, ne. If I already said what net means, no, I didn't. Ne in Bulgarian means no. The thing is, I don't think Bulgaria has any enemies. I mean, even its neighbors, probably Macedonia would be considered both, but our tensions have grown lower. We even signed a peace treaty in 2017, so we don't get along too much with our neighbors, other than Romania, who's like one of our best allies. But we're like neutral with our neighbors, let's say it like that. We don't have bad conflicts. We just don't get along well. We don't have tensions though. True. Oops. Call it. We basically just call it either Republic of North Macedonia or Bulgarians. Like, which Bulgarian would call Macedonia a different country? Like, everybody in our class refers to Macedonia as Bulgaria. Even when we talk about North Macedonia, one of my classmates just refers to North Macedonia as Bulgaria, and we do have to kind of, sorry guys, and we do kind of have to argue with that, that Macedonians are a different country and blah blah blah. But Alexander the Great, I'm gonna have to do a different video on Alexander the Great, who's Greek, not Macedonian. This video was uploaded 2 years before the peace treaty between North Macedonia and Bulgaria was signed. So back then there were like tensions, but yeah, true. Georgi Palevsky. Yeah, this thing about Alexander the Great. Actually, Bela, in the city he was born in, is actually not in modern-day North Macedonia. It was actually in modern-day Greece, not too far away from today Macedonia. It's located in central Macedonia. Probably heard about that. So, yeah, Macedonia owns nobody. Macedonia has always been a geographical location. It has never been its own country. The Macedonian Empire is basically the Greek Empire, so that's a disclaimer. Also, the Macedonian Empire didn't really extend too much in Bulgaria. There is one thing we relate with. We are not related with North Korea and South Korea, I think. We do not have a demilitarized zone and a wall splitting us. You just go through the border checkpoint at Dupnica or wherever you want to. Yes, we have a city called Dupnica. And you just get in, and then you have to go through lots of, like, I don't know. There's like these checkpoints that I'm not sure which country uses. And you have to go through all of them. Fun fact, I almost went to Albania in Ohrid. I have been to the city, but I didn't go to Albania. I did remember seeing Albania from the other side because we went to the lake, but I never got to visit Albania. As I said, we're kind of like neutral with Turkey because the government is just a total I don't want to say the word, but generally the people love each other and they're like, oh, what's up, bro? How you? And all that stuff. Even when we visited Istanbul, yes, I have been to the third largest city in the world, and when they found out they were from Bulgaria, they're like, oh, komşu, and all that stuff. Komşu, I already said what it means in Turkish. It means neighbor. I thought it meant customer, but no. Almost 500 years. We were under them for about 480 years, if we gotta be correct. We weren't independent. Our Declaration of Independence was signed more than 15 about 15 years. Yes, 15 years. Wait, no. Our Declaration of Independence was signed almost 20 years, if not more than 20 years after we were independent from, we broke free from Turkey. Basically, when we broke free from Turkey, it was like an autonomous zone, but not really. We're like a puppet state of the Russian Empire, not the Turkish Empire, the Ottoman Empire, the Russian Empire. We were under them, and not the Turks, because of course we don't want to do anything. Also, the San Marino, the San Stefano Treaty, I always mistake those two. The San Stefano Treaty actually gave us, I'm gonna show you, just gonna which will show you like more. Yeah, the San Stefano Treaty, I'm just gonna show you. The San Stefano Treaty basically looked like this. So this over here, these what you see over here, as you can see, these territories that are circled in red were the territories we had when these were the territories we had while when we were during the San Stefano Treaty. But then the other Europes thought it wasn't fair, and they pretty much just stole all our lands and made us like into I'm just gonna show you into what. I'm gonna show you what they made us. They made us from this giant country to this small thing. So this over here was all Bulgarian, and then suddenly split us, and this East Rumelia, as you can see it over here, all these territories were given to Serbia, the Ottoman Empire, and this East Rumelia became an autonomous region of Turkey, while Bulgaria finally did became, actually the Treaty of Berlin was not signed, oh wait, it was, and Bulgaria just remained a principality until 1908, until 1908, until the 22nd of September 1908, when our Tsar, something like that, Ferdinand declared our independence, and we broke free from Turkey and the Ottoman Empire. True. I mean, we still do have like ties now. We're not that big of fans with the U.S. But we're like Russia's like just one step lower than we are with the U.S. because all these stuff. I mean, there was a spy organization in Bulgaria which wasn't even committed by Russians. I mean, I don't understand correctly, but technically it was created by Russians. This like spy organization in Bulgaria, which kind of caused tensions to rise, but still we are good friends, no matter what. Also, there are a lot of Russians living in Bulgaria, not to mention that there are lots of Bulgarians living in the city of Kazan, which I already mentioned in my last video, and yeah. True. There was like, Romania decided to join, and eventually Bulgaria like, oh wait, he's joining, if he's an admin, and that happened, and they basically joined the same year. True. There are only two bridges, however, sadly, connecting the two countries. This is the Vidin Bridge, which I camped very close to. Not camped, but I was on a... I've went through both bridges connecting Romania and Bulgaria through the Danube River, the Russe Bridge, and the Vidin Bridge. And yeah, it's a very good time. I suggest you visit these two when this pandemic's over. If you're from Bulgaria, I suggest you visit at least one of them, because they're beautiful bridges. Also, this one looks like a Belgrade Bridge. To be honest, I didn't know that. Okay, this was a long video. I do respect the Geography Now man for trying his best to pronounce everything. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to like the video and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next episode.